Hello everyone. Yesterday I've made a video and I've got some comments on those, two at least, which prompted me in making another video. Today I wanted to talk about why context matters, especially when it comes to heated debates, controversial statements, and the violent reactions we sometimes see online and in real life. I'll also touch on statistics, societal context, and why violence is never the answer. Let's start with Charlie Kirk and some of the things he said about transgender people. Many people call him transphobic, but it's important to understand the context. His views come from his religious convictions, not out of hatred. In Christianity, there is a belief that God creates people exactly as they are, and changing that, whether through medical transition or other means, is seen as going against God's will. This doesn't excuse or require agreement with his views. And I'm personally an atheist, but understanding the context is key. He wasn't speaking out of malice or hate. He was speaking from a place of faith. That distinction matters because words have context, but fists and bullets do not. Once violence enters the equation, context disappears. Another place where context matters is in understanding statistics around crime and minorities. Numbers can seem shocking without context. For example, imagine 1,000 white people and 20 of them commit a crime. That's 2%. Now imagine 500 black people and 20 of them commit the same crime. That's 4%. Trans people are in even fewer numbers. So if a few commit a crime, the percentage can look alarmingly high, but it doesn't reflect the group as a whole. Without context, numbers can be misleading, and they can be twisted to justify hatred or violence. That's why it's important to understand the full picture. This brings me to a very important point. Recently, at a Charlie Kirk candlelight vigil, someone tried to drive through the crowd while yelling hateful things. People dragged him out and beat him to the point of ending up in a hospital. I want to be very clear. I condemn that action. Violence is never the answer. No matter what someone says, whether it's I hate Kamala Harris or fuck Charlie Kirk, there is never an excuse to drag someone out of a car or attack them physically. Using fists or bullets removes all context. Words can be debated. Violence cannot. So, what's the takeaway? We need to understand context, both in what people say and in statistics. But we also need to act responsibly. Debate, dialogue, and legal accountability are okay. Physical retaliation is never okay. If we lose that line, we lose the very foundation of a civil society. Words have context. Violence does not. Understanding why someone says what they say and looking at statistics responsibly matters. But most of all, we must remember being the better side means never crossing the line into violence. That's how we protect our society and the principles we claim to stand for. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.